Hello, IBDP economics teachers. In this video, I'll explain how to integrate regenerative economics into your IBDP economics course using a map we've created to help you find the footholds. Before I do that, I want to say a huge thank you to you for your interest and willingness to experiment with regenerative economics in your courses. Your course is difficult and overloaded, and your students have a high-stakes exam. These are huge barriers to going off script. But to get systems change at the top, we need your individual engagement. Your work with students on regenerative economics provides social proof and pressure on the IB for change. Our role is to provide the materials and support that make it easier for you to do that, as well as to provide an alternative vision for the IB to consider as it revises the economics course. So let's dig into the map. We've used a spreadsheet to organize the information. At the top of each page, you'll see a link to the Regenerative Economics textbook online, as well as a link to the IBDP Economics Guide. This is a living document. It's being updated all the time. So my recommendation to you is that you bookmark it so that you can find it easily later as we create and link up more materials. At the bottom of the page, you'll find different tabs for the various units. In the first column here to the left, we have the main headings for the IBDP economics syllabus. In the second column, you have links to the regenerative economics textbook sections that are related to the various headings in the syllabus. And in the third column, you've got some additional explanations and comments that can help you implement the work. Towards the bottom of each of these tabs, you'll find the theory of knowledge questions that have been outlined in the guide, as well as additional links to course content from regenerative economics and some comments about how you might want to deliver TOK theory in your class using regenerative economics. You'll also see at some points there will be topics listed that might not have a link yet. This is because we have not yet published materials online for these sections, but these links are coming soon, as you can see here. So let's look at how you would use this. For example, if you're getting ready to teach modeling the economy in the IBDP economics course, then some relevant material from regenerative economics that you could use include this section on the embedded economy. When you click on it, it will take you to the section of the textbook on the embedded economy. What I'm going to do now is to go through the structure of this section because all the sections of the textbook are structured in the same way, and this can help you understand what materials you have available to you as you're using regenerative economics. If you click at the top here, you'll see helpful prior learning and learning objectives. The helpful prior learning are links to other parts of the course that are relevant and related to the course material. This does not mean that students have to have studied this material in order to understand what's being presented in this section. It's just providing them helpful links. You also have learning objectives here. These are tied to the detailed specifications that are outlined elsewhere in the website. After the helpful prior learning and learning objectives, you'll see the main text. This text starts always with a hook. This is an interesting story, a case study, or some other way to draw students into the content. In this case, we've used the model of the planetary health diet to help students understand what a model is. Then we move on with the main text. This text is grouped logically and signposted with questions to help build inquiry. You can see here in this case we've got the circular flow of income model and the embedded economy model explained. You also have a section here about why economic models matter. At the end of every text, of the main text that's providing the knowledge content, you'll have at least one activity that you can do with students in class in one class period. So in this case, we've actually have two options for you and the students to choose from, depending on which direction you'd like to take the learning. There's also a set of checking for understanding questions. These are auto-marked. There are 5 questions for every section. We also have links, sometimes just a few, other times more, for students to explore further if they're particularly interested in the topic that was presented in the section. There are also the sources that we use to inform the content, and a list of terminology used in the section, as well as a link to Quizlet interactive flashcards that students can play with to build vocabulary. At the bottom is a feedback link where you can leave us suggestions for improvement or perhaps tell us things that you really liked. So what can you do with all this? Using this map, it becomes much easier to seed your course with regenerative economics content. When you feel you have the time and capacity, you can add some additional regenerative economics content to either complement what your students are learning or to challenge them. And speaking of challenge, almost all of the materials in regenerative economics are appropriate for TOK lessons. So if you're looking for really interesting ways to extend students' thinking and bolster their theory of knowledge understanding, you can use regenerative economics to do that. Finally, students could be developing a CAS project. They could meet regularly in a self-study group for a period of time, selecting sections they're interested in and conducting activities on their own or with some supervision from you. If they want to give feedback and get credit on the website for their contribution, I can send you a form for them to complete as they do this project. Whatever you and your students do, please share it with us so we can make your work visible and amplify your voices. This visibility is really, really important to systems change. And of course, we encourage you to participate in the IBDP economics review process. You should find out about this from the DP coordinator notes or other main IB communications channels in the coming months. If you sign up for the newsletter on our website, we can keep you updated on that review process, as well as on the development of the book. And if you need help, let me know. I'm happy to meet with you to give you some support to implement this. You can find the newsletter to sign up and a link to make an appointment to talk in the Regenerative Economics website.